Hey guys, so pardon the mess. I've been filming like all afternoon and I'm losing light, but I wanted to kind of get this video up before the start of the week just to kind of fill you guys in of what's been going on. A lot of you guys have been asking on my Snapchat kind of like, what's going on? And, you know, you've been kind of weird, and I agree, I have been kind of weird, and I kind of wanted to explain to you guys why. So this is gonna be a super long video if you didn't already notice by the timestamp. Like, it's gonna be super long. If you wanna know everything, like down to a T of what's been going on, like really understand, not like jumping to conclusions type of thing. Like if you really wanna know everything, you have to watch the entirety of this video to understand where I've been and where my head's been these last few months, and kind of like everything, just everything. Like you have to like watch till the end, else you're gonna be lost, or you're gonna make, you know, assumptions, or you're gonna jump to conclusions because you don't have all the facts. So it is a long video, but again, if you really are interested in knowing why I've been acting the way that I have been and all of that, then you need to just watch the end. Yeah, so I thought about actually just deleting the next part that I'm about to show you. Like I filmed a video explaining kind of what was going on, and then stuff changed, and you'll see why. But I debated refilming everything, but I'm just so disappointed, and my emotions are kind of all over the place still, and I don't really want to rehash a lot of stuff and the video itself was kind of emotionally draining to make, even though it doesn't seem like it. I was very emotionally drained afterwards, that I just didn't want to have to re-talk about this stuff. So I thought it would just be easiest for me to show you the original video I was going to show you guys, talking about the big plans that I had coming up and everything going on in my life. I thought it would just be easier to show you guys that, so you could really truly see the real, raw, at that time, me being excited, me being sad, all of that. I feel like it's just easier for you guys to see that part, so you can understand why I'm so sad and disappointed and all of that now. And I can talk about that more after this clip. So the next part of this video is going to be the original video I was going to post last week for you guys before just everything fell to shit. And yeah, like I said, if you watch that whole thing and you stick around to the end where I'll come back and talk about things that have happened since then you'll understand everything completely, and there will be no more secrets and no more like what's going on. Oh my gosh, this tripod's a piece of crap. Ooh, I look like a hot mess today. Hey guys, it's me, and I literally woke up like this. I have not showered, I have not brushed my hair. I did brush my teeth, however, because for some reason, even though I know you guys can't smell through the screen, I don't know, I feel like maybe, I don't know, I still feel like I should brush my teeth and do all that before I film. Also, good dental hygiene is always a great start for the day. But I am here to do kind of a life update, huge announcement, what's going on, why have I been so secret for the last few months kind of video for you. I hate when I watch videos like this where there's a huge big title and then it takes forever for that person to get to what the huge news is, so I'm just gonna go throw it out there right now and then explain everything after. So I am in a few days going to South Korea, where I was born, for plastic surgery. Now, before all of you get out your pitchforks and you're burning, you know, sticks and your dislike buttons and your boo, Kelly, like, just chill out for a second. I got a great opportunity in December. My friend Sam, as you guys know her, Samage here, she knew how much I've been wanting to go back to South Korea since I was adopted from there about 29 years ago. She knew how hard it was gonna be for me to get back there, because if I go back there, it's gonna cost A, money, and B, it's like, who takes care of the kids? Do I bring the kids with me? That kind of thing. And she received this opportunity through Docfinder Korea, which is a concierge service that kind of helps you get medical services in foreign countries, and specifically Korea. And she got a great opportunity to go, and she asked if she could bring me, and they said yes after they saw my channel, and I get to go. So to explain a little bit more about the plastic surgery, no, I'm not gonna go get like, you know, a tummy tuck or anything like that. Like, it's actually for things that I've already been considering getting plastic surgery for. Again, before you guys all start like yelling in your comments and telling me what a horrible role model I am for my kids and all of that bull crap, like, just listen to me. I'm not here to try to like disclaimer like, oh, you know, just because I get it done, you shouldn't get it done, that kind of thing, because I think every man and woman and anyone in between has a right to do with what they want with our body. Like, that is our God-given right, is that we can do whatever we want with our body. Do I think that everything should be done to somebody's body? No, but it's none of my business. Unless you're my child or I am financially responsible for you, it is none of my business what you do with your body. So I hope you guys can treat me the same way. I am not here to try to spread some type of message of whether you should or should not get plastic surgery. I am just telling you guys what I am getting done, why I'm getting it done, and just hopefully I'll have you guys along for the journey and you guys can be supportive of my decisions. Because again, my body, my life, I'm just me, and I always promised on this channel that I would be pretty transparent with you guys when it comes to me, and so I wanted to share this. Fast forward, rewind, I started talking to John. I hadn't told anybody else about this. I've talked to my mom about it a little bit. Because I tell my mom everything, and I've always told her everything. I started talking to John about all this research I had been doing on TMJ. If you guys remember, my very expensive mouth guard was found in little bits on the ground because my dog had gotten a hold of it. She took it off the counter and chewed it up. I don't know why, to this day, why she would do that. But she did. It's gone. It's going to cost me about $400 to $500 to replace, which I am planning on still getting replaced. But even with that, my TMJ still is terrible. It's been really bad since I got my wisdom teeth out when I was 19, and then as I've had kids and stuff like that, it's just progressively gotten worse. It's so bad that I get lockjaw when I'm eating certain foods or when I yawn or certain things like that. And what lockjaw is I'll open my mouth and my jaw will literally lock in place and I have to unhinge it to close it. And it's very terrifying when that happens. Like, I always have like a panic attack because it's just startling to not have control of your mouth anymore and to feel like, oh my God, like, and it's an uncomfortable position too. I don't complain about that a lot here. I don't talk about it a lot here because who would want to watch me just like bitch about all my little problems all the time? But that is a problem that I have. I also have my jaw cracks. I have terrible, terrible ear pain in my right side. Because of it, I clench when I sleep, which is what the night guard's for. And I actually clench during the day too when I get stressed out or things like that. Another issue I have is that if you guys notice and watch my videos, I tend to always have my eyebrows raised. You can see these like horizontal wrinkles right here. They disappear actually when I rest my eyes, when my eyes are in a resting position, but I always raise my eyebrows, and it's not just for my facial expressions, it's actually so that I can see. Again, this is not something that I talk about with a lot of people because I feel like a lot of people wouldn't understand. And it's also not something I've complained about because I didn't think that there was anything I could do about it. So why complain about something that you can't fix is kind of how I thought about it. So I've always kind of done that. And so when I was doing research about TMJ, one of the things that popped up was getting Botox in the forehead to fix those things. It's supposed to relieve tension migraines, and ear pain, and some TMJ symptoms, things like that. And why it fixes that, or could fix that, is because it relaxes your forehead muscles. If you're somebody who, like me, is constantly raising their eyebrows or tensing their forehead, these muscles right here are all connected to these muscles down here, which is your jaw and your ear and all of that. So the idea of Botox is it kills that muscle so you can't lift your eyebrows or do things like that, and then in sense it's supposed to relax your jaw. To me, that makes total sense. I have always, since I was a little kid, done this. My mom constantly, especially when I was in high school and my early 20s, would always do this to my eyes. She'd always push my brow up and say, "Why are you scowling? Stop scowling." And why she was saying that was because when I relax my face, and I don't do that often here, this is what my face looks like. That's relaxed. And I know you guys probably think I'm like scowling at you or glaring. That would be the assumption, but that's just my eyebrows relaxed. That's my face relaxed. What started to happen as I've aged, and probably because of environmental reasons, I played soccer and sports and I run outside and all of that, the sun hits my forehead. I try to wear sunscreen now, but I wasn't great about it when I was younger. Because of all those things and probably genetics and stuff, my eyebrows have actually started to lower on my face. So not only do I get these little lines right here because my eyebrows want to go down and in, but it's also now impairing my eyesight. So right now I can see the camera, I can see you guys, but there's a very dark shadow over the top of what I'm seeing, and then I actually can't see higher than right here. because my eyelids are covering my irises. So that is actually called ptosis, P-T-S-O-S, I think is how you spell it. And it is actually a very well-known medical condition. Usually it affects a lot of older people because as you get older, everything kind of does that. My mom actually has some friends and coworkers who have gotten double eyelid surgery and eyebrow raises to fix that issue for them. So it is a very common thing. It's just not so common in people my age. But because I'm already starting out with fatty monolidded eyelids, it's just a little bit, everything's just kind of exacerbated for me and my eyes. So I did talk to my doctor about it and stuff like that, and that is the kind of way, that's the direction that I'd have to go eventually, is probably surgery and stuff. But yeah, so all of that kind of made sense when it came to my TMJ and my eyesight and all of that, blah, 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 blah. But that's the reason I started talking about that with my husband. So me and my husband started talking about it, and he was like, okay, like let's talk to some doctors, this thing, like I'm totally supportive, like I totally get it. He knows how much I've suffered with just like headaches and migraines and my jaw and all of that kind of stuff. You know, he's the closest person to me, so I complain the most to him. So yeah, so I started talking about that, and unfortunately it's really hard, and I even actually clarified this with my doctor, it's really hard for somebody my age to get insurance to cover surgeries like that. Especially because there's really no known like 100% proof that the surgery helps with TMJ, and you know, for me, like they'd probably be like, well, why don't you just keep raising your eyebrows to see, kind of thing. So it would be a very expensive thing. It'd probably be out of pocket if I did that here. So that was kind of, yeah. So as me and John were talking about that and kind of opening up to the idea of me seeking medical help to kind of fix this part of my issues, I literally, not even a week later, I want to say it was like 2 nights later, Sam texted me and was like, Kelly, do you want to go to South Korea? And if you do, would you be willing to get plastic surgery done to go? And I thought like she was joking at first. So I text her back and I'm like, for sure, because I just was talking to my husband about, you know, this stuff, and I just talked to my doctor about this stuff. Like that would be like, you know, like I thought it was weird. I was like, what is going on right now? Because I had not talked to Sam about it. Like it was just weird. So I texted her back immediately. I was like, yeah, hello, yeah, let's talk. And we FaceTimed, and like I said, she got this opportunity through Docfinder Korea, and they said that she could bring somebody along, and she wanted to bring me because she knew how much I wanted to go to Korea, because I had just started that, you know, GoFundMe thing and my search for my birth family. And yeah, so it all was just too, like, I don't usually believe in fate and kismet and all of that, but that's honestly how it felt at that exact moment, because I had just started talking to John about looking into getting this fixed, and I had just kind of, you know, gotten bummed out because of how expensive it would be for us to do that. And then suddenly this opportunity to not only go to Korea for free came along, but also to fix these things with no cost out of my pocket other than, like, you know, food and stuff like that. I prayed a lot about it. I talked to my mom about it. I talked to John about it. I talked to my sisters about it, because my sisters are very like all natural and kind of, you know, don't necessarily believe in that kind of thing. I talked to my dad about it just to see if like it was the right thing to do, and I wasn't really looking for them to tell me like, yeah, you should do it. Like I wasn't asking them because I was afraid that they would be mad at me, or because I was ashamed of thinking about getting plastic surgery or anything like that. It was more of just because I wanted an unbiased opinion, because I am too close to the situation. I'm too close to the fact, like, I want so badly to go to Korea that I don't want, like, I didn't want that to cloud my judgment, if that makes sense. But John's immediate response was like, Kelly, this has been bothering you for how long? Like, I know how much it bothers you and how much you're in pain and how tiring it is and exhausting it is to constantly have to like raise your eyebrows to see or talk to somebody. And my sister, who's Korean as well, is like, yeah, like, you know, you have really bad resting bitch face. Like, I totally get it. And her wife was like, yeah, Kelly, like, do it. Like, if it's gonna help, do it. And my mom, especially, because she knows how long I've like struggled with all of this, is just like, do it. Like, you can't say no. Like, this is a great opportunity. You should do it. And then on top of that, they were like, you wanted to go to Korea all your life. Like, it's supposed to happen, like, you should go. So for the last few months, that's what we've kind of been doing, is kind of going back and forth with this, you know, this these people and kind of organizing our trip, and I couldn't really say anything to you guys because I didn't know for a fact if it was happening, and I didn't want to jinx anything, and I didn't want to get my hopes up. So now I know that I am going March 1st to the 15th. I will be there for 2 weeks. It's going to be a really long time, and I'm going to be really scared, not for the procedure part, but just to be away from my family that long. I've never been away from my home for more than like 4 days, other than to do the egg donation out in Chicago. I was there for almost a month, but I had my family out there with me. So my home is where my family is. So when I say I've been away from home, I mean, I've never been away from my family for more than like 3 days. I won't even say 4. I've never been away from them for more than 3 days. So I am like freaking out about that. I'm gonna miss John and the kids so horribly, and I know I'm just gonna get so homesick for them. So the 2 weeks is kind of freaking me out in regards to that, but it's not freaking me out enough to not do this opportunity. I don't know when I'll get an opportunity like this to leave for 2 weeks. John has some stuff going on right now when it comes to work, that this is probably the only time I'll be able to go for him to take off. And my mom's in a good position where she will actually be moving into our house for her transition period between switching homes herself right when I would be getting back. So that would be a great help for that weekend, because I'll probably be jet lagged and stuff. Like, it just seems like everything's coming together so perfectly that I feel in my like deep down that this is the time to do this and that this is right for me. I'm really excited, and I hope you guys can be excited for me and not judgmental. If you are, that's fine. Like, I know everybody's got their own feelings about plastic surgery and changing the way they look. And I'm not here to I'm not here to be like, disclaimer, you should never change the way that you look, blah, 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 you're beautiful the way you're born, because I know that a lot of people feel like they are born in their wrong bodies, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with changing that if it's something that makes you really happy and it's not gonna hurt you and it's a healthy decision for you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that you shouldn't do those things. If my kids grow up and they're adults and can pay for themselves and they've made a educated decision to do something, I would never stand in their way. I've said this numerous times before. Like, I just, it's their life. It's your life. So I hope you guys can treat me the same way. In regards to procedures right now, what we're considering, again, I'm not touching anything down here. It's literally, I would be getting maybe a small eyebrow lift. Again, I have to go out there and consult with them, and it would be a double eyelid surgery as well. And I know a lot of you guys are like, oh my God, Asians and their double eye surgeries. And that was my first thought too, was kind of like, am I gonna regret that kind of thing? Because I love the way that I look. I want to make that clear. I love the way that I look. It's taken me probably a long time to love the way that I look, but I do love the way that I look, which is again why I think that it's okay for me to do this, because I don't feel like I'm getting it done for the wrong reasons. I love the way that I look, but I'm not comfortable. Like, physically, I'm not comfortable. Like, every day I'm just tired. Like, when we started really talking about these surgeries, I started to consciously relax my forehead more, and it's just, oh my God, the relief I get. But I can't see. Like, right now I look like I'm just like mad at you all. Like, I look like Groucho. Like, I just, but I'm uncomfortable, and to possibly not have to be every day tired and uncomfortable and having like, my husband was like, I'm gonna raise my eyebrows for a little bit and see how exhausting it is. And he did, and he's like, I don't know how you do this, but it's just habit for me. It's so I can see, but like, I'm just so uncomfortable that I feel like this is, I'm doing it for there's no right or wrong reason. I shouldn't say that. Well, there is a wrong reason, but everyone's got a reason, and it doesn't make it wrong if I don't agree with it. But what I'm trying to say is that I feel like for me, this is the right thing to do, and I'm doing it for the right reasons. I love the way that I look, and I am scared a little bit about having to like relearn how to do my makeup and stuff, because I finally learned how what makeup techniques look good with me and what I feel like the best at. But again, this is something that just is daily and hourly and even nightly bothering me physically, and I gotta fix it when I can, I feel like. So this is just an amazing opportunity, and I'm so excited to go back to Korea. Like, I'm so excited. Like, even though I'm scared to the point where I want to throw up about leaving my family, I'm so excited to go back to where I was born and where I lived for like the first year and a half of my life. Like, I'm so excited. And again, I want to take you guys along with me, and I hope that you guys can be supportive and happy for me, because you know, this is a really exciting thing for me, and I want to share it with you guys. And it's been killing me the last few months not being able to tell you. Like, trust me, I've had all these stomach aches, just like, oh, I wish I could just tell them already. But yeah, so yeah, and when it comes to the adoption side, I want to update a little bit on that. I'm sorry I haven't really talked about the adoption stuff. I was planning on doing a video, sitting down, kind of talking about like my search and all of that, but a lot of back and forth through the adoption agencies took a long time. They're on a different time zone. They probably get like swamped with requests constantly, and I didn't want to like tell you guys anything before I knew anything. And it's actually funny because the timeline with that kind of was going along with this trip. I had contacted them over a year ago, and they got back to me finally, and because I had sent them my petitions of release for documents and all of that, and they literally got back to me a few days before I found out that the trip was actually confirmed a few weeks ago. And basically what the man had to tell me was that he was very heartbroken and sad to say that my foster mother, who took care of me for a while and who I slept with every night crying to and all of that, she actually passed away in '97. And they lost contact with her family then and haven't heard anything from them since. And they contacted my old orphanage that I was at before I was removed from there because I was being malnourished and not cared for properly. They contacted them, and they are still in business, so to speak, but they basically don't have any information about me except for the fact that I was left on their doorstep in 1987. So yeah, so I actually, there was a vlog that I did where I was really sad, and I told you guys that I didn't really want to talk about it. I think it was the hair InStyler video where I was just like, I'm having a really bad day. And that was the week that I had found all that out, and I basically, I don't know how else to say it, but when you know, the term that my husband used and the term that my Korean adoptee group on Facebook used was, I was basically grieving that week. I was grieving the fact that the one person who was known, who knew me as a baby, was gone. I was grieving that, you know, that door of trying to find my birth parents or anything about me through the adoption agency was closed. I was just grieving kind of that part of my life where I had hope that I would find something. You know, like, you always hear about all these stories, these miraculous stories about twins finding each other and adoptees finding their moms and all of that, and you always just hope, like, maybe that'll be me, maybe that'll be me. And at this point I kind of had to grieve, like, not having that hope anymore. Like, I don't think it's gonna happen for me. And before anybody leaves dumbass comments like they have been on my other adoption videos that I just cannot stand, which is like, you know, oh, I don't know my parents and it's not that big of a deal, or I'm not close with my family and it's not that big of a deal, or I don't know my past and it's not that big of a deal, or your past doesn't define you, just you should appreciate what you have, that kind of thing. Before anyone says that, like, I think it's great that those things don't bother you. I think it's awesome, but I'm not you. I'm not you, you know? And I think everybody processes things differently. I think everybody feels things differently. And I think everybody's situations are different. So to say to one person, like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, I got it this way, or I am the same way and I don't care, is just wrong. So that was what I was dealing with that week, was just being really sad about finding that news out. And because I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know, I was kind of hoping to maybe go back to Korea on this trip and organize a trip to, like, maybe meet my foster mom and at least give this woman a hug or feel some type of connection to that time of my life that I don't remember or have anything from. But yeah, it was really disappointing to find that out. So
in one sense, I'm a little like relieved, like I can move on with my life. And you know, I have my DNA in every single database online that's available right now. I did the 23andMe and I uploaded the DNA into like all these different things that the Create Adoptee group suggested. So if there is a match, maybe one day I'll be contacted. But at this point, you know, I've kind of gotten a little bit of closure. You know, that it's just not gonna happen for me and I can kind of move on now. But in the same breath, it was still really hard to deal with, and I don't think I'm completely over it, obviously, but at least now I can kind of move forward and concentrate on the things that I want to concentrate on. So even though going back to Korea is not going to be everything I'd hoped it to be, and obviously I would like to go back and do more of like a touristy, take my family and my husband to kind of experience the country that I'm from. Even though it's not going to be that, I'm still so grateful and so excited to be able to go back and at least just like breathe the same air that I breathed like when I was that little, and step foot on the ground that I, you know, lived on for the first year and a half of my life. Like I'm really excited for that, and that's what I'm concentrating on. So again, I just hope you guys can be like, even if you don't agree with plastic surgery or me getting plastic surgery, I just hope that you can at least be supportive of me. Like I hope that you care about me that much to at least just be supportive and not voice every single concern that you find on Google or every single, you know, botch job that you've heard of. Like I don't need to hear that right now. I'm not gonna listen to it. I'm not gonna read into it. I will delete those comments. Like, I just hope that you can be as excited for me as my family and friends are, because I would put you guys in that same category. I've grown a huge relationship with a lot of you guys, and the last thing I would want to do is disappoint any of you, but at the same time, I'm not going to not do the things that I think are right for me just because I'm afraid of what you guys are going to think. It's my life and I'm going to have to live with my decisions, and I'm going to have to live with my regret, so I'm not going to base any of them off of the internet, if that makes sense. But I do want you guys along for the ride, and I would love your support. So yeah, I am just really excited. I'm really excited and I'm really nervous, and I'm leaving, as of when I'm filming this right now, I'm leaving in less than 2 weeks, which is crazy. Like I just got confirmation like a day ago, so I'm in like hyperdrive mode of OCD, Kelly, what do I need? Am I gonna have everything I need? Like that kind of thing. I've been saving my own money since December in preparation for all the stuff I'm gonna need. I did have a GoFundMe page up for a trip to Korea, which a lot of you guys gave me crap for, but most of you were like, awesome, I think that's a great idea. I actually started it because a lot of you guys were like, you should start a GoFundMe, you know, you should start a GoFundMe. And I couldn't shut that down without like being able to comment back to you guys. So what I did was I put like a message on there like, please don't donate because I have this opportunity, might have an opportunity to go, like don't give me any more money. I did raise $200 from a lot of you great people out there, and I used that money for my vaccinations. I had to pay like over $100 and something on vaccinations because my insurance wouldn't cover it for some reason for my travel. My passport was such a headache. It was such a headache. Like we actually had to do numerous things, and my trip was actually almost canceled because I couldn't get my passport. Like me and John literally drove out to Detroit 3 or 4 days ago to like go personally handle like the hold up, and I was freaking out. I was like, don't let this be the reason I don't get to go. And so the money that you guys did give to that GoFundMe is going towards my trip. It's going to a good use, and I wouldn't be able to do this without your guys' help either. So I'm really thankful and grateful for you guys. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna start crying again. I'm really excited, and I hope you guys can be excited with me. So yeah, can you guys tell I'm like nervous? I'm so nervous. Like I'm so nervous, guys. I'm so nervous. I need to stop like rubbing my eyes and pulling down. That's another thing I'm gonna have to get used to, because the surgeries I am getting, like I'm not gonna be able to touch my face or do those things. You guys know I'm constantly like this in my videos, and it's because I'm just so tired. Like my eyes and my foreheads, I have one forehead, although it does kind of look like a 5 head sometimes, but my eyes and my forehead just get so tired that I'm constantly rubbing them just from throughout the day, because like I always have my eyebrows up. I'm always tensing my forehead all the time, and it's just so exhausting, and I'm just always doing this. So I'm gonna have to learn to stop doing that. Hopefully I won't feel like I need to do that anymore after these procedures, but I need to stop touching my face. Yeah, I'm not doing this to look less Asian, for those of you who are gonna throw that out there too. I'm not. I'm really not. I don't think I could look less Asian. Like, I'm Asian. I am who I am. I am who I am. Okay? I am who I am. So regardless if I ever got Botox or lip fillers, I don't think I ever would. My lips are perfectly fine. But regardless of whatever I do to me, I am who I am. So I'm not trying to change the way I look necessarily. I am who I am. And if my look does change, I'm still me in the end. Like, I am still me. It's just Kelly. It's just Kelly. So yeah, I'm not ashamed of what I look like or my ethnicity or anything like that. I'm actually quite proud that I'm Asian. But yeah, sorry I look like poop, but I like woke up and I'm like, I need to finally just make this video and tell everybody and all of that. And I needed to properly show you guys how like grumpy I look when I don't like have any makeup on and I'm just like chilling. Like, this is my resting face. Like, I feel like if there were a meme for resting bitch face, it would just be my face. Go ahead. Go ahead. You can take a screenshot of this and make that meme if you want. I will not be insulted because this is my life. So yeah, so I'm really excited. So like I said in the beginning of this video, everything has gone to shit since I was gonna post this. So I made this video last weekend and I was really excited to share it with you guys and post it and have all this stuff happen. It's Sunday right now, and technically I was gonna leave in 2 days, 3 days, this Wednesday. And as you can tell, I'm not planning any big trip to Korea. I'm not planning anything. I'm not going anywhere because all of that was canceled within this week. I found out about this Korea opportunity from Sam around my 30th birthday, which is this last October. So it's been about 5 months, almost 6 months, so almost half the year that I've been building up to this exciting thing that was gonna happen in my life. Like, I was finally gonna get back to Korea, and I had gotten my hopes up and done a lot of research and spent a lot of energy on the procedures and the surgeries, because as I mentioned, like, this was something, like the eye stuff and the forehead stuff was something that me and my husband were already talking about prior to finding out about the Korea thing. It just kind of all fit together and was gonna be so like, it just felt like it was fate, you know, it was that both things could happen at the same time. But yeah, I spent, you know, half of the year just kind of getting excited about this thing, and it's not happening anymore. I don't know what happened. I was not, unfortunately, connected very well to the people that were working this trip out. It was all kind of on my friend's end, and I just kind of was there when they needed to speak to me about certain things. And for the first few months, you can ask John and everyone else around me, I was very hesitant and reserved. I was like, I'm not gonna get excited until like somebody tells me like dates and a go ahead. I said, these are the only dates that I could go, March 1st to 15th. I said, this is the only time my husband can take off. This is the only time that I feel comfortable going. Like, they wanted us, they had talked about like it happening like the next month. Like, it was October. They were like, when is the soonest you can get out here? November, December? And I was like, F that. Like, I am a mom of 3. I need time to plan for a trip like this. I've never been away from my kids for more than like 3 days, 4 days, not even 4 days, 3 days at the most. Like, I can't just like jump on a plane. Like, that's not me. I can't do that. So I told him, like, I was very firm. I was like, March 1st to 15th is the only time I can go. It gives me enough time to prepare everything in my life, you know, that kind of thing. So they had months to plan. And again, I didn't get excited. I didn't like assume I was even going. Like, even though they were like, okay, it's happening, I still was like, but it might not happen. Like, for me, my luck has even though I try to stay positive, my luck always seems to be like, big things get like presented to me and then they never work out the way they're supposed to be. Like, there's always like this negative to it. Like, I'm always like, I try to be a glass half full type of person, but the way that my life usually works out, it's usually a glass half empty. You know what I mean? Like, I try to stay on the positive, but more times than not, stuff ends up not working out well for me, even though I know it seems like to a lot of you guys like, oh, I have the perfect life and I'm, you know, everything's so awesome where I am. It's not been. Like, I don't share a lot of the negative because who would want to watch that all the time? You know, even though I'm real and I'm like, I want to show you all the shit that happens, it's still like I do go days where I'm just like, whatever, or plans fall through or work stuff falls through or friends fall through. Like, I do have those moments still. So
I tried really hard not to get overly excited, and it wasn't until, you know, the last 2 months where they contacted me and Sam contacted me and like, okay, it's happening, like it's happening, like you can start planning. Like I specifically asked, like, is this happening? I need to know when I need to start planning. Like I needed vaccinations, I needed my passport, like all those things. And sure enough, they're like, yeah, you can start planning your trip, it's happening. So that's when I went into full-fledged, like, get my passport, get the vaccinations, that kind of thing. I had to get a typhoid, I had to get a tetanus, I had to get a pneumonia, I had to get a yellow fever, and I had to get Hep B or Hep A or something. Like, I had to get quite a few vaccinations, and I was waiting as long as possible because all of that was coming out of my pocket. Like I said, I did use the GoFundMe money for like all of that, those travel expenses, and also part of my money that I was saving, and I appreciate you guys so much. And I'm even more upset now that like I'm not going because I feel like I've wasted that money that you guys like, you know, gave to me for this, for Korea. Like that's like, it hurts that that part hurts a lot. You know, my mom and my friends like all pointed out, like, Kelly, your typhoid, you know, vaccination lasts 4 years, your passport lasts 10, like you didn't waste that money because you will still be able to take advantage of those if you get out to Korea before then. But for me, it just was like, I felt just really shitty knowing that like this trip didn't work out and I spent all this money and all of the donation money on it. So I feel like I jumped ahead somewhere, but in how I'm feeling, I can't, I don't know, I'm trying to process these feelings still because I really haven't had a whole lot of time to. Again, like up until like 2 months prior, I didn't really make much plans, I didn't buy anything, I was like still resistant and hesitant to even believe that we were going, and it wasn't until like a month or two ago when they were like, okay, we're going, you need to get these things done, that I did all of those things. So the last month has been me just like getting really excited, and you guys have seen in my videos, I'm like so excited about this secret trip that's happening or opportunity, and yeah, that's just been what's been going on. I've been like trying to mentally and emotionally prepare Kaya for like me being gone. And I say Kaya just because Ava's used to me being gone every other week at least because she is in a shared parenting home. Wyatt's, you know, he's more of a daddy's boy. Like he loves me and I cuddle him all the time. He's a mama's boy, but for the most part, like John can settle him down when he's lonely or he's upset. Whereas Kaya, if I'm not around, she freaks out. She just freaks out. She's the baby. And so I had to like mentally and emotionally prepare her to go, and it wasn't until I got the go-ahead like 2 weeks ago where they're like, okay, this is happening, we're going, like this is whatever, that I started talking to her about it seriously. And the last 2 weeks have just been horrible. She's been waking up in the middle of the night, like crying for me multiple times, which she doesn't do. She's 4 years old, she sleeps through the night, like she never did that, but now she's been doing that. I would go out to dinner with my girlfriends for like an hour and she'd be crying the entire time, afraid that I wasn't coming back. Like, that's what the last 2 weeks has been like with her. And yeah, so I don't know how to explain this. I'm all over the place, but I've just been building up to this thing that I was already trying not to build up for, and it just is not happening anymore. It's not happening. I don't know if it's on Docfinder's end or where it's, what end it's on, but it's just not happening. And I'm at a loss. I've been really upset. I've been really mad. I've been really disappointed. I've had a whole lot of different feelings just because I just feel like I wasted 6 months, 5-6 months of my life being excited and building up to something. I've wasted people's money. I've wasted my money. I've wasted John's time. I've wasted my time. I've wasted these feelings on my daughter that didn't even need to happen, all for just nothing. And it's just so easy for this company to just be like, oh, it's not happening anymore. And for me, it's just like, okay, you just left me kind of screwed. Like, you left me feeling just like shit. So I don't know. That's what's been going on. It's not happening. The only reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is, again, because a lot of you guys have been asking like, what's been going on? And I didn't want you guys, you know, to think that I was lying about some like thing happening. Like I was just trying to be secret to like, you know, draw in views or cause drama on my site, on my YouTube channel, because you guys know that's not who I am. But yeah, that's what's been going on. Is this last week I've just felt really crappy because this thing that I've been building up for and preparing for, that I was trying not to get excited for until they told me to get excited for, is not happening now. In the end, the thing that just made it not work, I guess, was just that they wanted us to pay for our trip out there and back, like our tickets, and then they would reimburse us. But they were already treating me kind of shitty, like I wasn't a real person. They were very quick to want to cut into my face. Like they actually when pictures were sent, when I told them what I wanted done, they were very quick to say like, well, you should get V-line surgery, which is like your jaw shaved down, and you should get hair plugs and all this crap. And I'm like, no, like that's not what, I'm not doing this for cosmetic reasons. Like I'm doing this to help me feel better physically. Like I don't want to get all these things done. Like they're already kind of treating me crappy, which kind of made me feel ambivalent. So when they started saying that we needed to pay for our trip out there and back, and they would reimburse us, that's when I was just like, this is not happening. Because I don't have the money to buy those tickets, else I would have already bought them and gone out there, and B, I don't trust them to reimburse us. Like, if this is a business thing, like, they should have to pay for it. Like, Docfinder is supposed to be, the review is supposed to be on Docfinder, which is supposed to be this concierge service to make our traveling easier, and they were just making it like 1,000 times more difficult. So, I just felt really weird about all that stuff, and it wasn't until like a few days later that then a message came through that was like, okay, they'll bank transfer us the money, but it's not gonna get here until maybe Monday, and then that's gonna give you 2 days to buy the tickets and leave. And I was just like, I can't do that either. I can't rely on a bank transfer, and then if I get the bank transfer in time, I can't rely on that to get a ticket on Monday to leave on Wednesday for a out of the country trip, and to like, I don't know, I was just like, I need more time than a day or two. Like, I know big YouTubers have no problem leaving their kids like last minute, but that's just not me. I'm not that person. I'm not this world-renowned traveler. I'm not this huge YouTuber who needs to fly all over the country, you know, at the drop of the dime. Like, that's just not me. I'm a mom firsthand, and I'm a wife, and that's my first priority. So, I don't know. The whole thing just was crappy. It didn't work out. I'm really just like, I'm just disappointed. I spent a lot of time just like crying and upset to John and trying to kind of figure out why I was upset. And I think the biggest thing is just that I built myself up to like this excitement about, you know, getting this fixed and being able to go home, and it just is not happening for me. So yeah, so me and John have talked about it a lot. And again, the reason why I'm sharing this now, even though I guess I could have just not said anything at all, is because a few things. One, I want to, you know, just tell you guys what's been going on so you guys didn't think I was just like hiding something just to hide something. B, I wanted to tell you guys just what's going on because I think it's good to work out feelings in any way possible, and for me, it's been really cathartic and therapeutic for me to do that on camera, as weird as it sounds. I also wanted to kind of warn any other future YouTubers out there who might get, you know, offers through Docfinder that it wasn't a great experience, and they are very shady, and they don't get back to you on time, and they are pushy, and I don't think that they're a good company. So you know, even if you're just a consumer, I've heard a lot of bad things about them there too recently. So there's that. I wanted to put that out there. And I also just wanted to share this because even though this situation's not working out where I can go out there, sorry, John's behind the camera collecting his drone to go to the park with the kids, but even though it's not gonna work out for me to go to Korea to get this procedure done, it's not something that I've given up on. Me and John have talked about it, and you know, we're just gonna save up for it. We're just gonna try to find doctors who will work with our insurance, who, you know, will push for me to get it done sooner because it will be beneficial to my TMJ and my eyesight, and my headaches and that kind of thing. So I wanted to just share this with you so that way you guys knew what was going on. So when I do say like, oh, I'm gonna get plastic surgery done on here, it's already been explained. Like, this isn't stopping us, because the Korea trip really had and does not have anything to do with how I feel about my forehead and the way it's affecting like everything down here, like in my eyesight and all of that. Like, that was something that was already a problem that me and John were discussing in private before that opportunity even came up. So that is something that I'm going to be actively looking into. So if any of you guys are plastic surgeons out there, let me know. And hopefully in the next 5 years I can get that corrected and all of that. And Korea is something that's become even more so a priority to me and John. We're just gonna save up as much as we can. I'm just gonna take the money that I've already been saving up for this Korea trip and just keep saving until me and John can afford to go. There's also a lot of things that are going on though, changes that are happening, not necessarily with me, but with other things in our lives right now. So those things are gonna affect the timeline of when we get to Korea. But since this just like thing kind of just didn't work out, me and John have really made that a priority. We're hoping to go for our 10-year anniversary now, which is in 2 years from this May. This May is our 8-year anniversary, so that gives me 2 years to save up, which I think will be a perfect amount of time. I think I'll be able to do it. It gives me 2 years to, you know, have our kids be a little bit older for me to be gone that long. We'd probably only be gone for maybe 12 days, not necessarily a whole 2 weeks, But you know, I want to spend time out there, and it allows me to go with my husband. Like, I was really torn up thinking about leaving my kids. Like, you can ask John, I was having like the worst stomach aches. I just can't. I don't think it was in me. So in some way, I think that this not working out was like a blessing in disguise, as disappointing as it has been. I just don't think Docfinder is a very legitimate company. I don't think that they are just very respectful, and I don't think it would have been a very good experience in the long run. So I try to look on the positive. Like I said, I try to be positive. The positive is that I don't think this trip was right for me. I want John to be there with me when I do go back. The kids are not ready for me to leave that long. I'm not ready for me to be away that long, and I don't think there's a good company to work with. If we get out there in 2 years, my passport will still be good, my vaccinations will still be good, so the money from GoFundMe will not be wasted. But I felt so, you can ask John, like, that was part of when I was crying. I'm just like, I feel like I let people down. Like, I feel like I let people down, as weird as that sounds, and it's not something I ever want to do. So I've spent a lot of time crying about this. I'm not going to cry anymore about it. I made that vow to myself when I sat down to start this video. In regards to the adoption stuff, I feel like getting that closure of that there's really no hope for me to find anything. I feel like getting that closure kind of also took some relief or stress or whatever you want to call it off my shoulders in regards to needing to go out to Korea so soon. I felt like I needed to get out there as fast as possible because I felt like with every year passing, I was losing time and chances for me to find my biological family. And now that I know that really there's not a way of doing that, it kind of is actually a little bit of a relief. It gives me like it makes me feel less terrible about not being able to get out there right now. You know what I mean? Like, it makes me feel better about like, okay, in 2 years I'll be going there. In 2 years I'll have the money raised. In 2 years the kids will be ready. In 2 years John will be settled enough in whatever he's doing to be able to take that time off work. Like, it'll just be all around better. So in the end, it just really seems like everything worked out the way it was supposed to, even though it really sucks, and I feel like just exhausted. Like, I feel just emotionally exhausted. This last weekend, like, we took time to just be together. My mom is moving, as you guys know, my mom and dad out of state soon, so they have been taking the kids a little bit more than normal, and the kids really wanted to see their grandma last night, so they're like, can we spend the night at grandma's? And she was like, yeah, I'd be happy to have you. So it was really nice because me and John just had time to be together. I know it sounds silly, but every single time that me and John have had together since finding out this trip has been like talking about this trip and stressing out about this trip, you know, me being away and all of that. So it was really nice to just be able to be together and just not have to think about any of that. And I don't know how to explain it. It was nice. So yeah, so that's about it. I'm probably overreacting about a lot of stuff. I wouldn't blame anybody for being like, oh my God, Kelly, you're being such a prima donna. But this is just me being honest. Like, this is how I feel. I'm just feeling really bummed and just kind of taken advantage of by this company and whoever else is playing parts in it. Like, I don't know. I feel like people just treat YouTubers kind of crappy. Like, if they're offering something free, like, they can just treat you however they want. And this definitely was one of those companies that did that, and it just didn't feel good. And I don't ever want to work with a company like that again. Like I said though, this is still a priority for me in the next few years because I, even now, more so since I started talking about it with John, it's even more noticeable, and I think about it a little bit more, and it's more exhausting, you know, the more I lift my forehead to see or to talk or whatever. It's just more, you know, in your face when you like recognize what the issue is. So it is still a priority for me to get this done. I just have to hope that insurance will cover it, or find a way for insurance to cover it, or find a way to save up enough money, or find a really nice plastic surgeon who wants to do something pro bono, that kind of thing. But it is still a priority. So I did want to just like let you guys know that that was going on as well. So anyways, there's my long drawn out update and kind of everything that's going on. So I'm gonna let you guys go here without any more talking because I don't really know what else to say. And yeah, I'm sorry for disappointing you guys if I disappointed you. I promise you nobody's more disappointed with me than me right now for getting my hopes up so high. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys all later.